Oh, hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. So thank you for joining these sessions. And then now it's 12:36 p.m. Eastern Time. And let's get started. So today is mainly information about machine learning engineering. And during this section, if you have any questions, feel free to post your question in the chat. If you are from the Zoom platform, you can unmute yourself. If you're from the other platform like YouTube or Meetup, unfortunately, you cannot unmute yourself. So just simply post your questions in the chat and I will respond to it. Okay. Okay. So Uh, first of all, I want to do a quick introductions. My name is Adam. I'm data science, machine learning, and like a business intelligence program manager from We Call Data. So We Call Data is a training academies, and also we have a different sister company for like BIM Data for the consulting company. We have We Career. We do the mentorship, and also we constantly run the events on the different platform. So today we main focus is on the machine learning engineer. Okay, so quickly go over what's a machine learning engineer. Uh, just because the limitation of this session, we're gonna go through from 12:30 to 1:30, so there is only 1 hour for us to cover everything, which is impossible. And I'm gonna just quickly go through the most important idea was a machine learning engineer and how it looks like. And if you have anything like not sure, you can just send the question here. First of all, let me actually skip the most of like let me quickly go over. So for the machine learning engineer, you will first of all there always come with a problem from the business, and this first stage the business will make the decision on what's problem they're gonna solve. Then secondly, you are looking to the data side that is available. You do the preparations before you put into the machine learning models. And then you will use different software or models to build a small model because most of the time the data could be very large and you cannot use all the data. So you do require lots of skills to create a smaller sample models and put them into production. And the model make decisions on to solve the business problem. Okay. So let me just quickly go over. So in the first stage is always the first stage is always come with handling the data. So data is very important, and the quality of data and the use of data, the choice of data is very important. So as machine learning engineer, you have to know the basic knowledge of data engineering or data pre-processing, which means you want to integrate the different data and make the necessary pre-processes before you do the modeling engineering. And also when you want to implement the model on the different platform, and you also need the skills of software engineering and then the DevOps operations. Okay, so which means like you kind of need to know all these skills if you want to become a machine learning engineer. Then let's go to the details. For the data, you want to do the data labeling. And for example, if you want to make some predictions, you want to always and for example, let's make a recommender system, like a recommend the video you want to watch today, right? So first of all, you want to labeling these videos, like if that's a short videos or long videos, or it's an entertainment language, right? So you want to labeling the data first, and it could be very uh, take a very long time to do that. So data labeling is one thing you want to do with your data, which also you can create new feature, but still there's also lots of domain knowledge required. You have to be very familiar with data side. You have to know what's the expectation with this feature, what like after you labeling this, right? So then you move on to the data preparations. Sometimes the data is not ready to use, and you need to do necessary cleanings, and also you want to put them into a data pipelines because you don't want to repeatedly do every single time. You want to create a pipeline. So every time you just feed the data and they will give you the more clean data or ready data to use, right? So the next step will be the feature store, which we're gonna use a software to create to do this process. And data quality control is very important because you know, like garbage in, garbage out. You have to make sure the data quality is really good. And for the modeling, you do need it's very important to create more features or mix your like, or you can say like the data mining. So you want to bring more value to your data. So there are feature engineering required. Simply example, like you want to, for example, if you know if in the house marketing, right? So you know how many houses there are, but you look into the rooms and then you divide by the price, you create a new feature, like a room per, like a price per room, right? So that's some example, just generic examples, like why you want to create a new feature. And yeah, so that feature can make some decision. And model training, you want to, there's different stage, but normally you want to create a basic LLM models and you want to train that model. So normally the model you're gonna use, so you want to do the improvement, right? So even you create a model, but you handle with a model from the previous data scientist or machine learning engineer. The model you may want to do is a fine tuning or improve the accuracy. But if there's a new data set and a new troubles challenge, and you want to create your own models, right? So you create, there will be a choice of model, lots of things will impact. Then there will be model evaluations. You want to make sure the model will be performance well on the different data side, and also the tuning, which is very important because you want to increase the accuracy of your model. And experiment tracking is also important. Modeling packaging, which you want to put into the production, you have to put in the package, and the people can, like everyone can use that model, or you can implement that model to the different platform. Model registry is also important. So for the software engineering, so model serving, model testing, like unit test, integration test, is and acceptance tests, and which is for you. First of all, that's one for you to test the model performance, right? So you want to make sure, like if anything goes wrong or not as you expect, you want to make some adjustment. And the DevOps means like you want to put them into productions, and which means you want to maybe make apps, make applications for your models. So you have to know the machine learning infrastructure, machine learning pipeline automations, and the model or data version control, and CI and CD model, and also model deployments. Okay, and model monitoring. So that is the school, but still this part is more into the like what you do in the general. But in terms of the choice of tools, there are lots of options. You don't need to know everything, but you do need to pick up the one you are comfortable with. For example, there will be for that labeling, there are SageMaker, Scala, and other tools. Feature store like Workshop and Databricks, SageMaker. Also, you can do that. So you will find there are different tools can do different things in the different platform. Again, I cannot go over everything, but just give you brief idea like what kind of tools available. So as a machine learning engineer, so you not only want to develop models, and you also need to have a knowledge on how to solve different problems. For example, if you want to training a model, so model evaluation, which is I think the first thing come out to your mind. So the libraries or the tools you can use is scikit-learn, FastAI, Ray, XGBoost, TensorFlow, and etc. So deep learning models will be involved, and Hugging Face. So the choice of the library or model is also important. Depends on the problem you're going to solve. So again, so you don't need to use all this library at the same time. So you just need to pick the library, pick the method you want to use, and to solve the problem. Okay, so machine learning engineer is you need to know the deep learning, computer visions, NLP, large language model operations. And when we talk about the computer vision and the natural language process and deep learning, which are, I will say, deep learning is more for you to have the skills, right? But computer vision and the natural language process is a specialized, and it's not necessary for you to like use both of them in the real work, because most of the time in your team or in your projects, you just need to pick one of the models. It could be just a deep learning models for the recommender system, could be a computer visions, could be a large language model from NLP, but sometimes it may not necessary for use all of these three in the same time, but sometimes you may. And then you will need to know how to put into production. So large language model operation is one of the most important thing once you have knowledge with different models. Let me skip. So actually, we are offer the boot camps if you want to learn, and the sequence will be you will know the machine learning or AI fundamentals, and you go with computer visions, and specialize in the computer vision and the NLP, and learn how to using the large language model and the machine learning model operations. So there are some features we're gonna cover for the bootcamp, and also if you are already in the industry and you already know some of these topics, you can just upskill yourself, find the part you are missing to find a job in this industry. So for the machine learning or AI fundamentals, and the library we're gonna introduce is a PyCharm and Hugging Face. For the imaging processing, which is a computer visions, we're gonna talk about the imaging processing, which is OpenCV, imaging data argumentations, and the data annotations. For CNN, we are using we're gonna introduce the CNN and the CNN architectures and the RAG, which is a recent papers in the computer visions, and the GNN. For the use cases, there are 3 use cases we're gonna introduce. Will be object detections, imaging segmentations, instance segmentations. For the generative models, which is relevant to the relevant to this topic, is a generative otherwise the rival networks, and the VAE, version transformers, stable diffusions, and the CLIP. So that's the computer visions, the courses we're gonna cover. And this is will be the most of the use cases you need. All these courses designed by the specialist from the current machine learning engineer. So all these tools or skills is a most update, and you can use for you will use if you are become a specialized in the computer vision, you probably need 90% of these skills on daily works. For the NLP is very popular and actually start to put into the productions start last year. a popular example is OpenAI, ChatGPT. And there's higher demands if you are specialized as NLP, and you could take disadvantage. Their focus, it could be building a chatbot, or it could be building a NLP model to handle the large documents or papers. So in this course, you will learn the NLP for text pre-processing, data scraping, data annotations. For the transformer, there will be secret models, attention mechanics, and the transformer architectures. For the large language model, which this 3-step is a pre-processing. So you want to prepare the model before you to the productions, but sometimes not enough. There will be a data pre-processing for large language model and the data argumentations, large language model encoder and the decoder. And also you will learn how to do the fine tuning. So including the in-context learning and indexing, parameter efficient fine tunings. Now we move on to the large language model operations. So we're gonna introduce a RAG. RAG is a tools for you to build applications. So the topics we're gonna cover is a long chain and tracking, indexing, vector database, query transformations, re-ranking. And the agent we're gonna use is Lunch. There are a few popular agent framework you're gonna learn, like a LangChain, AutoGen. So some studies you're gonna learn during this course is the portfolio, memory, planning, and actions. Okay, so that's the large language model. And also the machine learning model operation is also important. And this part is you don't need to know you don't need to know all the algorithm, but your more focus is implement the model to the platform, different environments. So you will learn how to do the data pipeline feature using the feature store, and how to do the data governance. And for the machine learning engineer section, you will learn how to distribute trainings, parameter tunings, experimentation tracking, model packaging. And for the software engineer, you will do the large language model inference and the model serving, model testing. For the DevOps, and you will learn how to do what is the machine learning infrastructure, like cloud, GPUs, and the CI/CD pipeline, and the monitoring. Okay. So the whole project, the bootcamp we offer is a part-time and full-time, and also we offer self-paced. So based on your personal interest, you can choose which is the best program, the way to learn for you. Okay, let me switch to another slide. Okay, I have lots of slides, but I won't go through all the slides. First of all, I want to recap. So there are lots of skills you can learn, and but most people thinking as a machine learning or AI engineer, you will focus on the machine learning codings, and you want to focus on the building the model, and other concept like data collections, configuration is not that important. But in the real world, that is how the needs and the model of the machine learning or the decision you're gonna make for the model itself is not gonna be most important part. It's the most important, but it's not the most of time you're gonna spend on. So for the other concept like configuration, data collection, feature extractions, are other tasks are very important, because sometimes you maybe just need to you don't need to build out models. maybe model already built, and your tasks is for the tuning and make sure the model can be used or deployments on the apps or deployment on the cloud. And other skills or knowledge is more important in the most of the time than the building a model. Okay. The reason is that you are in this if you break down to the text, the data engineer will process the data. So they will first to provide the data and to different teams. And the data analyst is gonna create the visualization dashboard to tell the what and the why. For example, if you're focused on the, let's say using the superstore like a Walmart as an example, if the engineer will prepare all the data and the company want to say what's the sales and how the inventory stocking goes, right? So data analysis or the BI analysis will provide a dashboard to explain the sales in the previous year, the historical data compared with last year, and the stock values and the price and other insights, and tell why there's higher requirements and higher stock or higher sales, and what happens that's the impact to the revenue, right? So they will provide insight and explain what and why, and the business owner will make decisions. They say, oh, I want to create a model to make accurate predictions. For example, I want to know how many this particular product, how many socks we're gonna sell or t-shirt we're gonna sell, all the any grocery we're gonna sell. So data scientists will make that decision. They probably gonna make a model to make prediction, how many items gonna sell, right? So once they create a model, the machine learning engineer will use that model to make decision, but they may make a application to use it, right? So for example, they make a application to, for example, they will make predict on the interface, and to show you how many inventory they expect for the next month or next year. And they will also using the live data to tuning the predictions to making the accuracy. So the purpose of this project, they want to, first of all, they want to make sure the stock is not overstock or out of stock, and also they want to save the cost for the storage, and they also want to maybe they want to make a better for the negotiation for the price if they can order more product. So for the left circle, if you are looking into the sales pipeline and compare with the machine learning pipeline, they are very similar. So which means if you have a experience in the different industry, you can connect to the machine learning engineer. So for example, as a sales, you do need to, if you go to a sales, and they give you training, so you have understanding the product and also understanding the customer. For example, you will have the data, and you will use Excel. You will look into the report survey to understanding the need of the customer and what's the demands, and then you want to using the ads or events or SEO to convert that to leads, and then you are using the email calls, events, or free trial for the conversion rate, right? So you want to convert that lead to the sales, and then you will create a report using Excel, and for example, the reproduction skill, you could be using the HubSpot and sales strategy test and learn. So in the machine learning pipeline, you still need to know the different will be, instead of the product understanding, you will have a business understanding. You have to understanding the problem of the business, and also you want to understanding the data. So you will using different tools like a SQL, Python to do lots of EDAs, understand the data, and there will be data preparations. And for example, using Python, SQL, or Spark to do some pre-processing, and then you building the model. After you have a model and you want to do the evaluations, make sure the model is confident to make the predictions. And the last stage is probably the deployment. Okay, so this is a machine learning pipeline. So in the challenge, in the sales part, will be there are lots of contacts and the engagement and the markets and the sales reps. For the machine learning engineer, there will be more models and more data and the data scientists and the application. So there are lots of similarity compared with the sales and the machine learning, which you can use that same your previous experience to connect to the data view. Okay, so for the left circle, there are always you have understanding the data, and then you want to move on to the data ingestions, data extractions, pre-processing, data analysis, explorations, which is very important, model develop, and the model trainings, and the model testing, and the analysis. And then will be the model deployment and the live system. Okay, so that's all I want to cover for now. Even though I have more slides, but it could be too dry and to explain each step. So for now, I just want to leave question to the audience. So let me know if you have any questions or if you want to know anything I didn't cover, and I can explain it to you. Okay, so let me show you another examples. So as machine learning engineer, the data you will look into is sometimes 100 terabytes, and which is impossible for any machine to handle that amount of data, especially when you want to put the productions, and it's just impossible. Even though we can make predictions using terabytes of data, there will be a long time waiting, and the clients may not happy with the waiting time. So we do need to use raw data to create the features and reduce the size of the data, and which means you can create a model with a faster response. So we want to create a features. So the data size could be reduced to 500 gigabyte, and you want to use some of them as examples, which is a 5 gigabyte, but still the example had to be good amount of the good quality to represent that 500. It doesn't have to be like a very like 100%, which is impossible, to equivalent to 500 gigabyte, but real expectation is the majority of the data can be example linked in this data. So once you have this example data, and you can make improvements, make sure just in case if you find there are some of the data is missing, and you can make some adjustment. So then you use these samples to make models, right? So then you test this model back to this entire data set, see how the performance goes. And when you want to do some tunings, then you want to do the rest of the batch to testing it, and then you want to use that to deployment the more accuracy models. So that's why model building up a machine learning model is not the most most time you spend on. Most of the time you want to do the data preprocessing infrastructure and other things. The model itself is only when the data size is I think I will say that's have enough features and have enough examples, like a representative examples, and you can put into the productions and keep on improve the accuracy, and that's how that works. All right, so there is an examples. So let me just go through everything first. So first of all, you want to start ETL on EMR using the Spark. That's just examples on the cloud service you're gonna use. And you will, first of all, you want to load the file from the S3 bucket and also load the data, load the models. And you want to using the SageMaker to build some models. For example, you want to use like one of the batch of these models, like put them into the your notebooks for the trainings, and you want training to the distribute model training jobs, and make that to make predictions. Meanwhile, you want to use some container for the trainings, and you are using SageMaker ML imaging XGBoost, and your own imaging, maybe that's the one you also want to use to build the predictions, batch prediction images, right? So so that's the use from the bench predictions, and sometimes you want to using the container for prediction endpoints. So that's the environment. So there will be different stage gonna involve transform and the interface. So that's some example for the ecosystem. And for the computer resources for the raw data, normally the raw data gonna start from AWS S3 buckets, and to feature like all this data, you want to use Hadoop and Spark to reduce the size to 500 gigabyte. For the SageMaker 1, for the data explorations, you want using the EC2 instance to start to start a SageMaker notebook, and another SageMaker notebook you want to use for the model deployment. And then you want to use Spark and the SageMaker for the trainings, and the next stage using the SageMaker for the transform, and then the final model will be prediction service will be EC2 SageMaker and endpoint. So sometimes it could be just 5 KB. Okay. I think that's all I want to cover for today. I have a questions. I have a question from audience. What's good learning path to get into the machine learning? Do you need prior experience in some technical area before starting machine learning? Okay, that's really good questions. Actually, there's lots of questions from our students. First of all, I will say you have to make a decision on the career path. So you could be a data scientist, machine learning engineer, or data analysis, right? So if you look into the just machine learning model, I will say the machine learning engineer maybe is too hard for you, because you do need to know the basic machine learning and deep learning. And so what I suggest is start with data scientist. So data scientists, you want to know the basic machine learning and the tools. Actually, let me change to another slide. Okay. So let me share. Oh, actually, let me go to our website. So let me share the learning path for the data scientist. I shared this in the Zoom chat. The reason if you want to learn machine learning, you have to start with a data scientist, because first of all, okay, let me just move on to the Okay, sorry. Let me actually move to the course. Should we go to the course? Okay. Let me go to the curriculum. First of all, you have to make sure you have knowledge with either SQL and Python before you get to start with machine learning. Because first time, as I mentioned in the previous slides, the most important thing is that you have to understand the data. So how we understand the data and also do the data ingestions, which is gather the data, is you use SQL and Python. So that's the first thing you need to know in this stage. And also for the data ingestions, you also need to use in SQL and Python to do this progress, like which means pretty much anything relevant to the data, like transformations. You have to know these two skills, right? So once you know the Python and the SQL, you in our courses you will move on to the math relevant topics. Um, like another question from our previous students, like how much knowledge you need to know before learn machine learning. I will say as long as you have a college or university degree in from like a math, like you complete math relevant course, that will be good enough. First of all, the use cases you need to know is to the EDA for the analysis. That part you need to know math, and the machine learning tuning you need the math now like a math relevant knowledge. But in terms of the models, for example, the machine learning model, it's based on the math, but you don't need to rewrite that code, right? You don't need to rewrite this algorithm. So for the math relevant now, like is a relevant for math relevant experience, I will say as long as you have a knowledge to do the analysis or tuning the model, that's good enough. You don't necessarily to build anything from scratch. But we will teach you the algorithm, right? The next thing is any other experience required. If you don't have, lots of our students are from the non-tech background. So as long as you can find the connection between your previous experience to the data field, and you can get started with uh, learning with SQL, Python, and machine learning, because everyone start from scratch, like because there's some things may not be covered in the university or SQL, and even though it covered, it may be just in a very brief introduction. So as long as you have the relevant experience in your industry, you can just connect to your previous experience and connect to the data field. There is no hard required before you become a data scientist or machine learning engineer, but it do require you have like a knowledge with math. I think the basic math, coding knowledge. I think that's two important skills you need. I hope this answers your questions, and if you need any clarification, just let me know. I have another questions. What technologies do you think are most important? Should I focus on AWS, the engineering tools, or machine learning building models? The technologies is, I will say, different company or different industry, they require different specialize. So the best practice I will say is go to LinkedIn. First of all, search the jobs you are interested in or industry. For example, like a machine learning, because if you are looking for the data engineer, you don't need to know too much machine learning. And if you are machine learning engineer, like you do need to create a lot of data pipeline. So the best suggestion is looking for the machine learning engineer. If you are looking for the machine learning engineer, just search on the job descriptions. because different company require different knowledge. I will recommend you focus on the past week, which is the most active job, and look into the job description. For example, in here is post 21 minutes ago, machine learning engineer junior positions, and the skills you want to know. Sorry, let me just check. Okay, it's a very short job description, but let's take a quick look. So it requires you have prompt knowledge with prompt engineering, which I will guess is a ChatGPT, which is a OpenAI API. And also you need to know the RAG technique and create a chatbot, familiar with the CI/CD pipelines, knowledge with Docker and testing methodologies, and experience with a vector database. So that is actually that is exactly what we teach. But still in this stage, it doesn't give you lots of details, but as you can tell, it's more focused on the machine learning operation side. So if you don't have any of these skills, which means that you are not ready for these positions, or maybe this is not the job you're supposed looking into, because that's what machine learning engineer need and requirement. Again, if you don't know this skill, that's normal. Don't be panic because if you haven't taken the machine learning engineer courses, lots of tools or skills are new to you. You just need to learn them and get some experience. Yeah, so again, this one doesn't give you too much details. Let me check another one. Okay, some jobs they do require you have a master degree. Sometimes they are okay with bachelor. Sometimes like it's really depend on the requirement. But I will say this not the master is not must. So most of them require bachelor or master. So not all the job require master degree because the reality is like they more looking into the experience. If you have experience, the degree is just an asset. It's not hard request. Especially there also too it's just been able to into the production last year. Even you have master degree, you may not have this tech skills. And I have questions. Can you describe the machine learning market locally and globally? Uh, is it over start trade? If it is, do you suggest for someone to do this to do tools now? I will say for the current machine learning market, no matter is locally or globally, I will say is more specialized. Which means in terms of the how you're able to put into the productions. First of all, uh, for now, as data scientists, if especially if you are not in the industry and if you want to land a job, you do need to become more specialized to able to solve the problem. Uh, so which means what I can suggest, learn new go to the LinkedIn, right? So for example, look into the job description. Let me just go to a data scientist job post. And this job was posted on 43 minutes ago. And let's look into the job description. Okay, So first of all, as you can see, it's 43 minutes ago. There is 100 applications. So I will say the current job market is very tough. Uh, I I won't say is uh like there's no possible. It's just they need to find someone as a very good qualifier. And there are lots of people because they can learn. For example, if someone can have very stand out resume but they don't have relevant experience. So in order to stand out, first of all, you had to have good experience, which means like if you just new grads, I don't think you can get in the current job market, and you do need to gain some experience. That's first thing. Second thing, you have to have a domain knowledge. So which means like in your in the project or the experience you have, that is have to be very similar to the current demand of the current job market. For example, if you are in this description, right? So you can say, sorry, let me just read here. Okay, in this predictions is more, I will call this is a more data scientist analytics. So it's not really a data scientist prediction, but you may work in the teams, other teams members, they may be using the models. For you, you do have to know how to build the model, but you more focus on the analytics side. As you can see here, you have to know how to do the ETL and experience with the visualizations and analysis data, right? So this part doesn't do lots of machine learning. I think that's not the best description for the general data scientist. But based my experience, actually this is a good start positions. Not everyone become a data scientist directly, and sometimes you may need to become a data analysis before you become data scientist. So first of all, my suggestion, you have to get enough experience. Secondly, in the current job market, just try to apply as many as possible to see how the interview goes. And you won't stand out. First of all, you have to able to explain or describe what experience you have, and show your domain knowledge, show your data skills, and tell them like what kind of the tasks you have to complete. So that's in terms of the three factors. First of all, your knowledge in the academic level, which are you able to learn all the machine learning models? Are you able to do the visualizations for the, I would say that's academic level. Secondly, do you have that relevant experience? For example, have you built a model and put in the productions? And what kind of the business problem you have solved? So that's experience, that's second thing. The third thing is how your interview performance, right? Because we have students, they are really good at the client projects, which means they have lots of experience, but they have problem to explain what they know, or they didn't give a conclusion, or they didn't summarize their knowledge, and they just could not pass interview. So that is there are three things. If you want to stand out among others, there's three things you should look into and improve yourself. Yeah, I hope this answers your question, but I cannot give you very detailed suggestions because it's really based on your current stage, right? Are you still in the learning stage? Are you in the gain more experience stage, or are you into the job market? But I will say like these stage are connected, and you don't have to do the best. I will say you don't have to do the best, but as long as you're able to, as long you're able to meet this demand, and you should get interviewed, right? If you don't get interviews, then one of this stage you may need some improvement. Okay, you're welcome. And also last thing is another thing you want to start out is specialize. For example, if some of this, as you can look in this description, and if your experience is relevant to like patient interactions, like electric medical records and outcome data, if you have experience with this data, so you are specialized in this data, right? So you may have building a models to solve the problem. Then that could be a good position for you, right? So specialized means you have domain knowledge in the different industry, and also it shouldn't be a Kaigo project. It should be the real experience. Okay, as long as you can develop one specialized, and you just wait for this relevant. For example, if you are specialized in this medical, and you just wait for this job post and try to apply, I believe that's you all feel more comfortable because that's what you do, and you have higher chance to get this job offer. Okay, I think that's all for today. If you don't have any question, I wish you have good rest of the day, and we do have more sections coming. If you find this section is helpful, you can join every day, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Standard Time. And we have different types of workshop or different events. So if you have any questions, you can go to our website and find the service you are interested or question you may have. Just for example, if you are interested to get real experience, you can go to the Real Client Project and fill up your information, and our advisor can help you. If you're interested to our courses, to ask yourself, you can go to courses, find the job title you are looking for, and for example, data scientist or machine learning engineer, fill your names, because we will give you our curriculum or other information provided to you, and also the financial options, client project career support, and our advisor will help you. So yeah, so we do have workshop, but it's more for the entry level. It's not for someone already have experience or upskill yourself. Let me share the slides. For the upcoming sections, so we do have a workshop tomorrow for the Python, and we have a instructor have a explanation what is Python. And if you find that you may need to know what is Python and you want to join this workshop, tomorrow is a good opportunity. Same as this Friday, we have workshop for Seiko. And also next week, I believe we have a Python interview questions. So it's next Tuesday. So mainly focus on the Python and the Seiko. And we do have some workshop with Linux and AWS. That is end of this month at July 31st and August 1st. So there is a small workshop, and if you're interested in any of these topics, you can join. You can find our event post on the Meetup, YouTube, and the LinkedIn.
Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome. Okay, so if you don't have any question, let me stop recording. And also again, wish you have good rest of the day, and we'll see you soon.